Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to go ahead and give a quick little recap of Kandi's Speak On It. Listen, y'all already know I'm not a big fan of Kandi's Speak On It. However, for the last probably like month and a half, 2 months, I have been a little interested in what she or the guests that she has on have to say. You know, I will say this much. If I see, and I think I said this before, if I see someone in the thumbnail like Don Juan or Common, I'm probably going to tune in because sorry, Kandi, y'all know I like Kandi, but I do believe that Kandi, I don't think she tells them what to say. However, I think that she knows that when she brings certain people on, they're going to, it's kind of like, Kandi may be in producer. She may have on a producer hat, right? And she may know that, okay, if I bring Kenya on, I know Kenya gonna give the girls something to talk about. I know if I bring, you know, my brother Don Juan on, I know he gonna give the girls something to talk about. So I have noticed that if you see Don Juan in the thumbnail and it has to do with Real Housewives of Atlanta, I think you should watch because Don Juan is probably gonna give some information that we may not be privy to. And the truth of the matter is Don Juan and Common, they know firsthand what's going on. I mean, they probably know some of the information due to what Kandi tells them. But for the most part, they know. So anyways, but yeah, I have been watching Kandi Speak On It quite often for the last, 2 months probably. And, you know, unless they still talk about some Real Housewives of Atlanta tea after this season, that's probably the only reason why I'll continue to watch. Other than that, I don't really find Kandi that interesting by herself to watch her speak on it alone. I was really watching it tonight because I thought it was going to be about Marlo and what else she had to say. However, it was only mostly about 7 minutes of Marlo, and then the rest of it was Kandi. But because I was already watching it, whatever, girl. And plus, I did see Kandi alone in the thumbnail, and I was kind of confused on, like, why is Kandi by herself in the thumbnail? I thought that they said that Marlo is going to be a part 2. However, once I got to a certain part, I really understood why Kandi only put 7 minutes of the last Speak On It with Marlo into this Speak On It. All right. I think I just said a mouthful. Anyways, y'all. So, Kandi. I mean, Kandi asks the guests every time they come on, what do they think about the girls, right? Marlo says that she likes Cynthia. However, she thinks that Cynthia plays it safe and that sometimes you just have to call up out. And I agree. I also think that falls for Kandi too. I think one of the biggest problems that I have with Kandi Burruss is that instead of her just calling it for what it is, especially with her relationship or I don't know what they got going on with Portia, is that she just wants to stand in her shit. Instead of just saying, I'm never going to fully trust Portia, it is what it is. That's just my coworker. She's just like, you know, well, hopefully we can move forward. Sometimes when it gets brought up, you know, I get pissed off, and it's like a part of me feels like Kandi really is trying to move on, and then another part of me feels like, Kandi, you messy and you just want all the tea. That's why Kandi always pulls that, oh, I'm neutral. Are you really neutral, or are you just messy and want all the tea? Or maybe it is, and I've seen people say this too, that Kandi doesn't want to have to deal with the Portia stans. So it's kind of like, it may be easier for Kandi to just say, you know what? I don't feel like dealing with these hoes in my comment section, so I'm just going to say me and Portia cool and it is what it is. But secretly, Don Juan, you know I don't fuck with that. I done already said fuck, I might as well say bitch, girl. I don't fuck with that bitch. Or Common, you know. So, you know, that's how I feel about Kandi, too. She said, Kenya, this is what Marlo, her opinion on the girls. Kenya, she's honest, basically. Latoya, she says, reminds me of me and Kenya. She tells Latoya to get back with her husband. Basically, ain't nothing in these streets. I don't know why Marlo always pushing for somebody to be with a man. Like, this is the thing, right? Marlo could have had a man a long time ago, right? So I think it's weird that Marlo is always pushing for these women to be with men, but clearly she's not settling because she was engaged before to, what was his name, Charles? Remember when she was engaged? So it's like, Marlo, you're not settling, so why do you expect other people to just be with a man just because? She says Kandi basically is a boss. She said Fallon is a pretty girl, but she really don't know nothing about Fallon. She also tells Fallon to get back with her husband because he's rich. And don't leave your husband over somebody who's fine and probably broke. Girl, if that ain't that, I will say, don't leave your fucking husband who rich and might not be the best looker, you know, but girl, over some man who probably ain't got nothing, because allegedly they say that Fallon fucked her friend or something. Girl, I don't know, girl. He probably ain't even got no money, girl. She said with Drew, she doesn't know if Drew is acting or what. However, she says that, you know, she likes Drew and she likes Drew's husband, but she basically can't figure out Drew. Shamia, she started barking like a dog. She's a lap dog. I mean, for the most part, I think that a lot of people who are being honest will say that Portia is not the best friend. That's why I don't understand when people say Portia is just this great friend. Portia is the same person who sat at a table with Phaedra and Sheree and threw her best friend who was engaged at the time under the bus. Maybe Portia was in a space where she really couldn't be happy for her best friend. That's why she sat there and let Phaedra say that Shamil was fucking Kandi and Todd, knowing that she was about to get married. But girl, y'all say Portia is the best friend y'all ain't never had before. All right. Anyways, this is what Marlo really, like, Marlo, you can't do this. Like, this is Marlo. She talks about Portia and it's like, oh, I was really hurt by Portia. I was really, really hurt. And then it's like Marlo, she wants to show that she loves you, but she's also reading you at the same time. Like, oh, she was a fan. Girl, she ain't had no money. She was broke. She got money when she got married, but then she was broke. But I love Portia, and you know, I'm always gonna be. You know, she was my girl once upon a time. So it's like you saying this shit on one hand, but then you will do like a 180 and be like, but the bitch ain't shit. Yeah, what? Okay, girl, whatever. Hold up. Oh, so Kandi starts to talk about basically telling Marlo. Candi's whole thing was this. Marlo and Portia were closer than me. Marlo and Portia were closer than me and Portia. So I didn't think that it was that big of a deal that I had a conversation about it with Marlo. And Candi's whole thing was I had a conversation with this about basically what I heard and saw off camera. Kandi, if it stays in a dungeon, it stays in a dungeon. You went to Marlo. It sounds like you went to Marlo being messy because you thought that Marlo probably already knew because she was cool with Portia. But the truth of the matter is, you told. Like, even if it did happen off camera, Kandi did say, I take full responsibility. I take accountability. Yes, I told it. Yes, I had a conversation with Marlo. But I think I think Candi's also trying to say, but I had this conversation off camera. Like, it's not like I brought the tea for the world to see. So Marlo is telling y'all something that we had off of camera, which I can get how that would be frustrating because it's kind of like, bitch. Like, yes, I did tell you Portia fucked Bolo. Yes, I did tell you, girl, I heard. Yes, I did tell you whatever I saw. But girl, that was not for you to go run back to the cameras, girl. It's the reason why I told you off of the camera, right? So I can get that, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that, girl, she still told, but she took responsibility for it. Anyways, she said she didn't tell Kenya all the details because it's not that she doesn't trust Kenya, girl, but she also knows that basically, girl, I know that Kenya and Portia beefing. So basically, I don't want to put myself in the middle, so I'm not gonna tell Kenya because I think Kenya gonna say something. That's basically what Kandi said. Marlo, they showed a clip of Marlo basically saying Portia was running in and out of the room. Girl, Portia was running in and out of Marlo's room, I guess cleaning her cat. I mean, girl, she made sure her kitty cat was fresh, girl. I mean, at least we know Portia ain't no stinking nasty bitch, right? At least we know before she give up the pussy, she making sure that it's clean, right? So shout out to Portia for having good hygiene. Even though Portia ain't shit. Portia ain't shit. It's so sad that I really just came to the conclusion. And maybe I was low-key trying to be like Kandi in a way. And I thought about this earlier. Like, girl, did you really not just want to, like, just always... Were you saying... I can be honest and say this. Was I getting on here telling y'all, oh, no, I'm cool with Portia. Portia all right. But deep down, you knew you couldn't stand Portia. Is it because, oh... you really were trying to give Portia a chance, or you just didn't feel like hearing nobody's mouth in the comment section? I really think I was trying to give Portia a chance. I really did. Because, like, I have said this before, sometimes I really try to separate reality TV from just like, girl, this is reality TV and this is real life. Kind of like with Basketball Wives. Like, I always tried to separate Basketball Wives from real life. When that whole colorism stuff when the colorism stuff started on Basketball Wives, that's when y'all girls lost me. That's when I was like, okay, girl, we're going to have to draw the motherfucking line. This is where I draw the line, girl. But anyway, oh, that was my air conditioner just turned on. So anyways, girl, so my whole thing is, anyways, so I tried to be supportive of Portia, telling. Oh, so basically, Kandi just lets it be known that she prides herself on. Oh shit! Hold up. She prides herself on, basically being a vault. You know, not telling people's business. So, oh girl, no. She prides herself on not telling people's business. And it was never her intention to put Portia's business in the street. That's why she basically, I guess I was messy off camera, basically. She said she's tried to be supportive of Portia. When Portia first got on the show, she was telling people to follow Portia. You know, when Portia ended up leaving, or when Cordell divorced Portia, she was one of the first, you know, people who gave Portia a job. You know, Portia said she wanted to sing. She, you know, supported Portia in her singing. She says it just gets hard because when they play these flashbacks of what happened 4 years ago when Portia told a lie, she said, repeated what Phaedra told her. When Portia told a lie, and then she said when things happen like in, you know, in real life where you have people, she didn't say Tiny or T.I.'s name, but girl, I assumed that's who she was talking about. So basically, whenever like you hear these stories about other celebrities being accused of, you know what T.I. and Tiny are accused of, that they automatically lump her name in with that group. And it is the truth, because when that whole stuff happened with T.I. and Tiny, I think a lot of people were like, girl, Kandi? I think it all crossed our minds, like, Miss Kandi, girl, like, Miss Kandi Burris, girl, what's tea? You know? So she says those things make it makes it hard for her to just forget what happened, because basically y'all hoes always basically reminded me of what happened, and so it's always there. She says that, oh, now, bitch, this is what I said in my review. I said this. And when I saw them say this in the goddamn speak on it, I said, bitch, I just said that. Basically, talked about Portia pulling the white woman stunt, the Karen stunt, talking about how she was afraid of Marlo and needed security. And how it is a contradiction in a way, because it's like, Portia, you have this woman, Portia, who says that she's fighting this good fight for black, I guess just black men, fuck the black women, right? Because from what I can see, Portia basically just fuck Kenya, fuck Marlo, right? That's what I'm seeing. You have this woman who is out here supposedly fighting for black rights, but girl, you pull a white woman stunt in front of all these white people talking about you need security, and you feel as though basically your life is in danger. The same shit that white people pull. That's why when that whole activism shit started, I said that shit was fake from the goddamn get-go. And this is why Portia either gonna have to choose a lane. You want to get on Real Housewives of Atlanta after you march in the streets and then say, fuck Kenya. You want to get on Real Housewives of Atlanta after you march in the street and then pull a white woman Karen card. But we supposed to believe that you're supposed to be this big activist. It's a reason why, and I hate to sound like this, but it's a reason why you have the Angela Rye's, these people who actually do this for a living, and, you know, even the Tamika Mallory's, they really try to keep their personal life out of the spotlight, because unfortunately, sometimes the mess that's going on in your personal life, it becomes a hot topic and more of a bigger discussion than what you're really trying to do. And it's like, Portia, you want to march in the street, but then get on TV and fuck the stripper. You want to march in the street, but then say that you don't give a fuck about your relationship with Kenya. You want to march in the street, but then come and say, girl, oh my God, I need security because this black woman is scaring me. And it's kind of like, girl, what are you doing, bitch? Like, what are you doing? Which one is it? Which one is it? But girl, that's y'all friend. Marlo says that she basically, you know, even Kandi and Marlo were like, oh my God, like basically they couldn't believe that Portia went that far. However, you know, it's the same way. Marlo, probably, hopefully you understand now when you pull the same stunt with Kenya. And I said this in my last video, I believe, that it's so crazy how Marlo, Nene, like so many people can, you know, become Dr. Phil and Iyanla Vanzant when it comes to Kenya's relationship with her mother. But girl, nobody sees the parallels when it comes to Marlo just basically saying out of her own mouth she was in foster care. But girl, you got the nerve to sit here and try to dog another bitch out about her relationship or not having a relationship with her mother when bitch you didn't have one with your own. Portia clearly got daddy issues. Nene was running off stage crying because she couldn't even talk about her mom. You see what I'm saying? So it's like people have this, oh, let's turn into Dr. Phil when it comes to Kenya, but girl, let's turn a blind eye to the other bitches and they mess. When the truth of the matter is we probably all somewhat fucked up from our childhood, but that's another conversation for another day. Hopefully we can get past this. This is what Kandi says. She says basically Drew talks about the prophet and the bad spirit, and her whole thing is like Drew, like LaToya wasn't even that instrumental in your life at the point. So like, how do you know the bad spirit that the prophets were not, you know, getting wasn't coming from you? Hello? And then she says, hopefully we can get past the dungeon. Girl, y'all not. It's a wrap. Season 14, gonna be a battle between Portia and Kandi. Mark my words. Bye, y'all.